Hi, in this video I want to take you on a brief tour of the Blackboard course, or the Blackboard site for our course. Now, when you open it up, of course, the place where you will arrive is the announcement page. So far, all you're seeing right now is a general welcome, and definitely if you have not already, please make sure that you review the syllabus as well as the syllabus video and the schedule that I've provided. Now, one thing I do want to let you know about is that each week there will also be a weekly announcement that summarizes what we're doing and the particular tasks that you need to complete. In addition to this text-based announcement, I will also provide you with a video announcement that essentially takes you on another tour and shows you all the places that you need to go within the Blackboard site in order to complete these tasks. So if you notice, I left a little blank spot right here that I can paste in the YouTube address. All right, so speaking of your expectations, I do want to go ahead and pull up the schedule right here. Because this is an accelerated course, we have a lot to do. And because this is an online course, all of your learning and your engagement and your assessment is all occurring online. So that means we have a number of activities. Just to take you on a tour of what this document provides you, we have 6 weeks, and each week is accompanied by a particular set of topics. I did try to group topics together in a way that made sense, where they were connected concepts, and that does mean, unfortunately, that there's a little bit of jumping around within the textbook. So I've listed the textbook pages you're expected to read, and also each week there will be a reading guide. These are the notes that I took when I was doing the reading, and I think that will be a nice help to facilitate your own note-taking. In addition to this textbook reading, I've also provided you with videos. Now these numbers right here represent the number of minutes that the video lasts, so you have a heads up on how much time you need to allow for reviewing these videos. Great thing, of course, about videos is you can pause, rewind, take notes as you need. The vast majority of these are professionally produced videos, so I think they're really, really well done. Now, there are also a variety of graded assignments. These are the ways that we engage with each other, that you'll engage with your peers and with me. There's a W for a Wiki presentation, a DB for a discussion board, and as we go down, there's a J for a journal. Additionally, there's also going to be presentations that are done using the Wiki. I'll talk a little bit more about what each one of these things are in just a moment. The first week, I am doing the example. And then in future weeks, you all will be in charge of doing the presentation and then also engaging in some discussion on those presentations. All right, let's head over to the Blackboard. We're here on the Blackboard page now, and I already showed you the announcements. The next thing that I want to do is just to give you a link to me. Sometimes it's just nice to know who it is that's talking at you. That's me and my now 3-year-old Jack. And if you would like, I also encourage you to follow me on Facebook. This is my professional page. And what I provide here is periodic articles or other notes about psychology and wellness that's in the news. So you won't get any of my recipes or baby pictures or anything if you follow me right there. The next place that I want to take you to is the syllabus page. Now, hopefully you've already reviewed these first 2 documents, but I've also provided a variety of resources here. APA style is a really important thing that you need to know, not just for this course, but all of your courses. APA formatting is going to be useful for any of your writing, but it is particularly important when you submit your final paper. So click on there for videos on how to make a title page or a reference page or just how to do in-text citations. I also have some videos, and these are particularly important if you haven't done an online course. Even if you have done an online course, it still might be useful because maybe you didn't learn how to use the Wiki, for example. These are videos I created on how to use these particular methods that we are using for our graded assignments in these courses. So I do encourage you to review them. If you already know the material, fast forward, no big deal. And then if you haven't done the orientation video with reviewing the syllabus, you can get that here as well. All right, the next thing that I'll go to is the learning materials. So I've organized everything into folders, weekly folders, and on the front of the folder you have a brief summary of the material and then all of the learning objectives for the week. In the first week we're going to be covering culture, gender, and research methods. So if we open this up, this will take you to really everything that you need for week 1. In every single week, there will be a reading guide provided here for you. In every single week, there will be a folder of videos, and if there are other online resources, maybe a reading or a website that I want you to review, that will be here. To watch a video, of course, you just click Watch Video. If it doesn't automatically open, you can also highlight the address and paste it into your browser window, and then it will show up for your review. Every week you will have a reading guide and those videos, but also every week you will have a chance to engage with others in a small group through a discussion, some type of group discussion. Our class has 20 people. I've divided that 20 into 3 different groups. And in order to access your group discussion board, you would click on this link right here, and then it will take you to whatever group you are assigned to. So you would open that, and then you would click on Group Discussion Board. If you want more information on how to use the discussion board, definitely use the discussion board video for more specifics. I want to just let you know that the way I do discussion boards is that there is a general issue that we'll be discussing. Here is culture and gender, but then within that general issue, I have usually 7 or 8 different subtopics, and each of you will reserve a topic. In this way, each of you is bringing something unique, something worthwhile to the conversation, rather than having 6 or 7 people commenting on the identical thing. It adds a lot more variety and a lot more interest, I think, to the discussion boards. So one thing to bear in mind is that means it would be a good idea for you to reserve your desired topic early on in the week. And then as we get closer to that Thursday night deadline for your post, you will go ahead and complete the discussion board post and submit it. All right, and then you have, in addition to that 250-word post, you're also going to be responding to what other folks have said. So that way you're learning a little bit more about these other subtopics within the general area of interest. All right, also what you'll be doing in groups is periodically you will work on Wiki presentations. Now again, I do have a review video that's specifically dedicated to how to do the Wiki, but I'll just give you a brief bit of information here. So you'll click on this link, and again, that's going to take you to your small group name, and then you would click on Group Wiki. And I'll have more information on this particular Wiki presentation in week 1. All right, another thing that you will see every single week is a quiz. This quiz is, it consists of 25 questions, typically. There may be some variation there, but it will typically be 25 questions, and you have 45 minutes to complete it. You are allowed to take the quiz 2 times, and there is a time limit for each attempt that you do, and your final score will be an average of what you earned across those 2 attempts. Obviously, it will be to your benefit if you have some level of preparation before you start the quiz so that you're not thumbing through the chapters. That's not going to be a very useful way to take the quiz for you. Now, I'll address these selecting the project topics in week 1, but let me talk to you a little bit about how you can find more information out about these projects. Well, it stands to reason if you want to get information about projects, you go to the main menu and click here, and this will open up this page with 2 separate folders. One is the Walk in Their Shoes paper. That's the larger project, and the other is this Understanding Psych Research presentation. This is what is addressed in that weekly presentation right here with the UPR, Understanding Psych Research presentations. I mentioned this a bit in the syllabus review video, but what you're doing is that each one of you will choose one article to focus on. And then what you'll be doing is sharing what you've learned in a Wiki presentation for the rest of us. So in addition to summarizing the key points of that article, you're also responsible for creating a discussion question. And I have created a sample Wiki, or at least I'll have it up shortly, so that you can see what's expected of you. I will add that everybody's Wiki is due on a slightly different date. To determine the date that your Wiki is due, you'll look at this schedule right here. Now, I took the first week because the Wiki presentation needs to be available by the start of the week that's listed. So for example, if you sign up for the Racing Against Your Heart Wiki, you are expected to have that Wiki up and ready to go by the beginning of week 2. So essentially a week or so from right now. So just be mindful of the due date when you select your particular article. All right, back to this project page. The other major project that you'll be doing is something I called Walk in Their Shoes. This is designed to give you a more intimate, connected look at what it's like to actually have a particular mental illness. Now, my guess is that many of you are either experiencing or have experienced some type of mental illness, be it depression or a panic attack or obsessive compulsive disorder or even substance abuse. You've experienced this either in your own life or in the life of someone you know or someone you care about. So probably you already have some ideas on what it's like to live with mental illness. But this project is, I think, an even more intimate way to look at people that are not attached to you. It gives you a more perhaps objective view of what they're going through. For the project, you will be submitting for a grade a final paper. And to support that final paper, you will provide me with an outline, and I'll give you feedback. And then before you give me the outline, you'll also give me your notes. So let me open this up and show you what you can find in this particular project folder. Now, a unique component of this project is that rather than doing your research using scholarly articles or reputable websites, you are actually going to be using the things that you're probably never allowed to use: blog sites, chat rooms, videos, as well as interviews. If you know somebody, let's say you choose generalized anxiety disorder, and your cousin has this particular issue, you're welcome to interview that cousin. But I have provided here a list of various blogs that you can review to get more information about a particular mental health issue. And you can see, I'm assuming all of these still work. I have not checked them in the last 2 months, but they are just lists of various worthwhile blogs that I think give a useful perspective on what it's like to live with that, given this is generalized anxiety disorder, with that mental health issue. Now, to support your success with this assignment, I have also provided you with guidelines as well as a sample for each of the assignments. The first thing you'll be submitting are notes. And so in addition to giving you what's expected of the notes, I've also given you a sample that I created based upon about 2 hours of note taking. You would be expected to do more than that, but I just wanted to let you know you can get a lot of information in 2 hours if you have some good sources. Then it's also a really worthwhile idea to create an outline. It forces you to organize your ideas. It forces you to organize your sources in a meaningful way. And I do have a sample for what's expected of this outline. We don't have time for you to do a full rough draft, but there's actually research that indicates that an outline leads to more successful final drafts than a rough draft. So that's what I'm doing here. And then I do have at least one sample paper, and I'll get 2 more sample papers up shortly so you can see what's expected. In essence, what your paper will be conveying is how a particular mental health issue has impacted daily life. How does it influence the person's ability to engage in relationships, to go to work and school, to do their day-to-day activities? What are some real-world examples of symptoms? You know, it's one thing to read WebMD's description of a hallucination. It's another thing to read the writing of somebody who has schizophrenia or somebody who is taking care of a person with schizophrenia on what that hallucination actually involves. And so that's really where you're going to be putting your focus with this project. I've tried to hit the high points of the course, but I'm sure that there are issues that I have left unaddressed. I will talk in more detail about what each week involves when we get to that week, but I'm sure that you're left perhaps with some questions. And if you do have questions, you're welcome to contact me. But I also encourage you to consider posting on this course information discussion boards. You see, I clicked on discussions, and then I came over here, because odds are, if one person has a question, point of confusion, some type of challenge, it's very likely that other people in the class are having that same issue as well. So you can just click here on course information, create a thread, indicate in the subject header what particular issue you're having. Maybe a video is not working. Maybe you have no clue what a concept means, or you aren't real sure what's expected of you this week. Post your question here, brief subject of what your issue is, summarize your question. If you prefer, you can post anonymously, and then be sure to click submit, not just save draft. And when I see questions, I will work to answer them, but I also encourage you that if you see that one of your peers has posted a question and you know the answer, or you think you have some insight, please do respond to them, because we are here to help each other. All right, well, I certainly do look forward to hearing your ideas and engaging with you in this course. Have a great evening.